Have you heard of the terms climate change, global warming, or rising sea level? If so, then you're likely aware that all these terms have sizable issues in the world today. As the fears of climate change and global warming have increased over time, their effects have also followed. I'm Jader Stalker with Group C this semester, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the problems, the reasons for solutions. We're going to go over a few solutions, and then I'm going to tell you guys about what solution I thought was, or our group thought was the best to implement. Okay, our overview for the video, we're going to discuss the problems, the reasons, consequences, and solutions. The first problem we're going to talk about is, according to the NOAA, ocean sea levels have risen approximately 8 inches in the past century. In a book written by Nancy Castillo, When the World Runs Dry, Earth's Water in Crisis, she dedicated a whole chapter to rising sea levels, but she went into detail on one specific tribe that was highly affected out of Louisiana. She wrote that they faced many struggles, including loss of land, losing culture, and trying to find new land to inhabit. Another problem that we faced is with our military base that's in Virginia. They've experienced 18 inches of relative sea level rise since 1980, and 8.79 inches of that has been since 1970. In the Hampton Roads region, one of the major challenges has involved flooding, shutting down crucial roads and access to the base. Additionally, the Air Force Base in Florida has also had issues such as Hurricane Michael, which was responsible for billions in repairs and the relocation of an aircraft. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about carbon footprint. What is a carbon footprint? The carbon footprint is the amount of greenhouse gases that are in our atmosphere. When looking at the carbon footprint, the United States on average is up to 16 tons, where the rest of the world sits at about 4 to 6 tons. Ideally, we need to reduce the carbon footprint in the United States from 16 tons to about 2 to 4 by 2050 to avoid any major climate change. A couple of solutions that our group came up with is geoengineering. This is kind of like where we want to either reduce the amount of carbon that's going into the atmosphere, or we kind of want to reflect the sunlight that's coming onto the earth and kind of stop the earth from being heated as much. Some examples are, say, that would be relatively easy for most of us to do and not so cost affordable as an individual, would be to paint our shingles white instead of having them black so they reflect a lot of that sunlight. Another solution is eco-friendly vehicles. Adopting eco-friendly vehicles should reduce the emission of carbon dioxide and other gases from the vehicles. For this, eco-friendly vehicles equipped with the latest technology and pollution-free fuels should be promoted. In urban areas, public transit facilities should be preferred rather than using private vehicles. Another solution we went over was renewable energy. A study from an academic journal by Dr. Kuzes and Sadaya Izzadullah shows how cities with many hours of sunshine can utilize PV panels to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The results showed that the panels can produce 10 to 15 of the energy consumed in these cities. Buildings should be made to maximize daylighting in order to reduce electricity consumption. Shrink the food footprint. Currently, the production of meat from farm animals accounts for 5% of global carbon emissions. Cattle, for instance, burp when they digest food, generating methane, a potent greenhouse gas. With their manure emits nitrous oxide and carbon dioxide. Additionally, to provide livestock room to graze, forests which remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, plant-based diets including vegetables, bread, rice, and beans can reduce emissions by 50 gigatons and carbon dioxide over 30 years. According to the Drawn Down Project, reducing food waste can save about 90 gigatons of carbon dioxide over the same period. Trees, we need them, right? Trees play a big role when it comes to many things like climate change, global warming and reducing the carbon footprint. Just in my short lifetime, there have been many local forests that have been demolished to be replaced with many things like warehouses. The problem with this is that we are not replacing the trees that have been removed. In conclusion, the detrimental impacts of climate change, including global warming, are manifesting through the rising sea levels, posing significant challenges to coastal communities and ecosystems. In the United States alone, coastal areas held 53% of the population, putting all these people at risk if the high sea levels continue to rise due to climate change and global warming. Our group has looked at many different solutions, and each of us have chosen one that we think is the best according to the grid method. After looking at all 6 that each of us have came up with, we believe that eco-friendly vehicles are something that would be easy to go with for the best solution because it's something we're already implementing. A lot of people around the United States and the world already drive electric cars. A big reason why climate change is occurring is due to the amount of fossil fuels being put out into the atmosphere, thus rising the temperatures and rising sea levels. If everyone is to use cars that do not burn as much fuel, we will be reducing the amount of fossil fuels in the atmosphere. This solution may not fix the problem entirely, but it can help reduce the intensity of climate change and global warming, which will help slow the sea level rise as fast as it has been in the last few decades. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation, and that's all.